You never had a second for a conversation when the calendar looked empty and the future looked expensive. But somehow you found unlimited availability the moment the figures started climbing, which is interesting because I don't remember success teaching anybody where my number was. Back when the situation looked uncertain, you treated distance like policy and silence like strategy. Now every message arrives decorated with enthusiasm, and every invitation arrives carrying a level of urgency that would have been useful years ago. The funniest part is watching somebody try to reconstruct a friendship they personally abandoned, because memory suddenly becomes flexible whenever circumstances become profitable, and loyalty always seems to become fashionable after the rewards start appearing. You keep talking like history forgot what happened, even though history was standing in the room taking notes while you were disappearing. Every time support would have required inconvenience. The energy changed so dramatically that if I didn't know better, I'd assume somebody replaced the entire personality, because the version of you that exists now wouldn't ever recognize the version of you that existed back then. It's amazing how quickly admiration starts sounding like investment advice once money enters the conversation, because people who never believed in the mission suddenly become experts on the destination. Back when progress looked slow, you treated every update like background noise. Now every move becomes a discussion topic, and every decision becomes a reason to reconnect, which would have been flattering if the timing wasn't so predictable. You keep presenting coincidence as genuine interest, even though genuine interest usually arrives before results, and coincidence usually arrives afterwards carrying suspiciously good intentions. The same people who disappeared during construction always seem fascinated by completed buildings, because foundations aren't exciting until they're holding something valuable. I watched you ignore opportunities to be real and then return with opportunities to be convenient, which explains why familiarity exists but trust never arrived. Every conversation sounds carefully calibrated now, because you're trying to reverse engineer access without acknowledging absence. Absence tends to leave evidence even when people pretend it didn't happen. The strange thing is, I don't even feel angry, because disappointment requires surprise, and none of this behavior qualifies as unexpected anymore. You keep speaking about connection while calculating proximity, speaking about friendship while measuring benefits, and speaking about support while reviewing outcomes, which would almost be impressive if it wasn't so obvious. Back then the silence explained everything, and now the attention explains everything else, because people reveal themselves most clearly when circumstances change, and circumstances changed enough to make the motives impossible to miss. By the time you finish explaining why we were always close, I'll probably still be remembering how quickly distance appeared whenever there was nothing to gain from standing nearby.
Yeah. Chrome fan grin with a black outfit. Whole squad move on some ruthless dish. Cold heart stare made the whole room stiff like chain gate slams and apocalypse winds. Whoop, 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 whoop. Rust red glow from the hallway lamps. Heavy boot steps make the floorboards crack. Whole crowd tense when the snare drum snap like riot squads in a midnight clash. Tick, 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 slash when a hi-hat stab every bar. Crack like a body bag smash. Internal rhymes all over like fast, like switchblade sparks in a midnight crash. No fake cloud, no costume threats. No fake killers for the internet. I came to you raw with a storm brain stress. Now the whole damn crowd scream, who next? Black leather gloves with a frostbite grip. Whole room freeze when the hooks hit thick. Every line sharp like a combat kick. Lead the whole damn stage in a blackout mist. Boom, boom, clap stop when the floor line break. Whole crowd jump when the sound waves quake. Every punchline hit like a ribcage cave. Lead the whole damn room in a panic state. Walk, slow switch, now the tongue goes savage. Every syllable stitched like combat fragments. Pressure too dark for the weak to manage, like war zone smoke and collapsing palaces. Whole squad deep with a wolf pack glare. Dark grey fit with a battle wear. Everybody lock when the speakers tear like wildfire sparks through electric air. DNA split when a beat line twist, voice rise sharp as some warlord-ish. Every cadence hit like a hammer fist. No weak links in the structure built. Still too hungry for the calm life route. Still throw sparks when the lights burn out. Still move beats when the crowd scream loud, cause pressure built what I'm on right now. Black ski mask with a chrome fan grin. Whole room freeze when the drums kick in. Every verse built like a guillotine swing. Lead the whole damn scene in a crack of dream. Tick, 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 snap when the pattern stack. Every bar hit like a heart attack. Internal rhymes all over like black like train track sparks in a steel yard clash. No weak bars, every sentence heavy like iron chains in a blacked out Chevy. Whole floor bounce when the hooks get deadly. Pressure too raw for the fake to catch me. Boom, boom, stop, now the walls cave in. Whole crowd jump when the floorboards bend. Every verse built like a loaded spin with enough raw force to erase the scene. Still too wide for the soft life through. Still scream loud when the smoke roll out. Still move cold when the crowd bug out, cause beast mode blood never dying now. Fast lane pressure with the burnout smoke. Chrome black wheels while the engines choke. Whole lane move when the shadows close like thunderstorm force about to explode. Tick, 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 boom, now the snare drum snap. Whole crowd shake when the kick line crack. Every line sharp like a butcher axe. Lead the whole damn room in a blackout track. Dark red lights in a backstage haze. Whole squad move in a warpath phase. Every breath sharp like a live grenade with enough war force to collapse the stage. Fast paced and the flow turns savage. Everybody tense when the lights flash rapid. Every syllable stitched like combat fragments, like trigger kick sound from automatic gadgets. No soft talk, no peaceful vibes, just hard pressure and sharpened minds. Whole room shake when the hooks collide like avalanche force on a mountainside. Boom, clap, crash, now the roof line split. Whole crowd scream when the drums hit. Every verse built with apocalypse grit. Leave the whole damn floor with a blackout mist.
Still too hungry for the weak applause. Still too sharp for the fake facade. Still go beast when the pressure calls. walk like cross, 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 cross.
Tick, 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 slash when a hi-hat stab every line. Crack like a body bag smash. Internal rhymes all over like force like shattered glass in a midnight crash. Hoes got stomp in a blackout rain. Cold heart stare with a blood red veins. Everybody freeze when the hook sounds strange like wild wolf breaking loose from chains.
DNA burst when I switch up lamps. Whole room jump when a low tone slam. Every cadence hit like a combat stamp. With a whole floor forced to collapse the map. Black flame rise from the furnace spit. Whole squad move on some ruthless ish. Every sentence stitched with apocalypse script. Did the whole damn world in a black hole miss.
Everybody looked unstoppable while the conversation stayed comfortable. But the second the standards increased, the confidence started shrinking. Because confidence built on convenience has never survived contact with reality for very long. The same people who spend hours explaining why they're different somehow keep producing identical results. Which makes me wonder whether they enjoy the idea of progress more than the responsibility required to create it. I keep noticing that people become extremely creative whenever they're explaining why something didn't work, and strangely uncreative whenever they're asked how they plan to improve it. Which tells me excuses and solutions rarely come from the same mindset. Most competitors defeat themselves long before anybody else gets involved, because inconsistency quietly destroys opportunities while everybody's busy searching for dramatic explanations. The room always changes when measurable performance enters the discussion, because measurable performance doesn't care about charisma, reputation, presentation, or popularity. It only responds to evidence. I've watched individuals spend years polishing introductions while completely neglecting substance, and then become confused when attention disappears, because attention was attracted to the surface and the surface eventually stopped being interesting. Everybody wants recognition, but recognition becomes surprisingly unimpressive once you realize how often it's given to visibility instead of value, and visibility has never been particularly difficult to manufacture. The interesting thing about pressure is that pressure doesn't create weaknesses, it reveals them, which is exactly why some people improve dramatically while others spend all their energy searching for somebody else to blame. I stopped being impressed by predictions because predictions sound intelligent until reality arrives, and reality has a habit of humiliating people who mistake confidence for accuracy. Most individuals talk about discipline as if discipline is a personality trait, when it's actually a decision repeated often enough to become difficult to separate from identity. The louder somebody advertises certainty, the more curious I become, because certainty is usually strongest in environments where consequences are weakest, and consequences have always been my preferred method of verification. Some people become obsessed with momentum once momentum is visible, even though they ignored every stage required to create it, which is probably why they understand outcomes significantly better than processes. I learned that competition becomes easier once you stop treating competitors like obstacles and start treating them like information, because information helps you improve while emotion usually slows the analysis down. Every level introduces a different challenge. Every challenge introduces a different lesson, and every lesson introduces a different opportunity to separate preparation from performance. The objective still looks demanding enough to command respect, the distance still looks large enough to require effort, and the standard still looks high enough to expose weaknesses, which means the challenge remains worth pursuing. By the time somebody finishes explaining why the destination isn't realistic, I've usually already become interested in a destination even further away, because limits sound much less convincing when they've been wrong repeatedly.
Yeah. Midnight. Midnight. Yeah. Midnight blur on the boulevard, playing black twin turbo with the blue lights blend. Whole squad deep in the bass won't end. 808 thunder through the city again. Fast lane glide while the raincoat drip. Chrome star wheels on the asphalt strip. Whole lane bounce when the kick drums hit. Everybody locked in the midnight drift. Rose gold skyline in the rear view shine. Palm trees blur on the oceanside drive. Whole city move when the hooks align. Night two alive for the breaks tonight. Tick tick snap when the hi-hat stand.
dance. Every bar got a racetrack stance. Internal rhymes in a woven pattern like sharp lane cuts in a carbon phantom. No fake flex for the scrolling crowd. No fake diamonds, just the music loud. I want rooftop dinners above the clouds with the skyline glowing in the bass max style. Cold wind sliding through the moon roof crack. Whole squad laughing in the all black mad. Every heartbeat sync when the 808 slap like midnight launches on a canyon path. Boom clap stomp when the low end land. Whole dashboard shaking from the speaker slam. Every punchline got impact pack like launch control on a 6-lane drag. Fast slow mo with the cadence switch. Tongue move sharp on some savage shit. Every syllable stitch too thick like tire smoke when the back wheel twist. Cream suede seats with the ambient shine. Blue LED glow on the center line. Whole city moving when the hooks align. Everybody floating in a starlit vibe. DNA spark when the beat line crack. Voice rise up then the flow snap back. Every line got pressure packed like supercharged runs in a matte black Hellcat. Whole crowd jumping when the bass line growl. Windows shaking when the drums too loud. No weak songs when the track go hard. Everybody locked in a superstar cloud. Still got hunger in the bloodstream deep. Still got dreams that I gotta reach. Still move fast while the world is asleep. Cause winners ride while the rest just sleep. 808 slide through the speaker frame. Whole lane shaking when the sub bass bang. No lazy talk, no recycle game. Just midnight drives in a foreign range. Tick tick boom. Now the engine scream. Fast lane switching through laser beams. Every rhyme got velocity like twin turbo boost on the city streets. No weak spots in the structure built. Every cadence got pressure seal. Like race stay focused behind the wheel. With ambition too real to conceal. Duffel bag stuffed with expensive fleece. Energy drinks and designer sneaks. Whole squad deep with the restless heat. Everybody locked when the drums hit deep. I stay grinding while the rest stayed on. Now the skyline view look platinum gold. Same dudes laugh when the dreams look bold. Now they screenshot every move I post. Boom boom stop when the kick drum smash. Whole trunk shaking from the baseline crash. Every verse got momentum packed like midnight reaches in a supercharged jazz. Fast pace when the chorus hit. Whole heartbeat on some psycho-ish. Every line got pressure grip like burnout smoke when the launch control hit. Right downtown blow through the tinted glass. Whole squad move when the hooks attack. Everybody lit in the all black bins. Cause hard work turned to the life we have. Internal patterns all overlap like freeway routes on a GPS map. Every cadence attack like V12 bikes when the valves all crack. Whole squad ride when the moonlight hit. Beats the bass with the neon drip. No weak bars, every sentence lit like Tokyo signs on a midnight strip. Late night cruise with the windows crack. Ocean breeze while the baseline slap. Whole team laughing in the Cadillac. Cause all night drives from the moments that last. Still got goals in a savage mind. Still want more when the stars all shine. Cause once you level up one more time, you see bigger dreams on the other side. 808 pressure make the whole car jump. Hands on the wheel when the hooks all punch. No burnout vibes, no slowing up. Just non-stop gas till the sunrise come. Middle of the track, none the flow go crazy. Rapping by your tongue all energized lately. Every syllable sharp and wavy. Like freeway runs going 180. Breath too fast but the bar stay crisp. Whole car shaking when the sub bass hit. Every cadence got champion grit. Like photo finish wins in a final sprint. Purple ocean with the skyline shine. Whole lane moving when the beat line rise. No dark vibes, only pressure and pride. Just pure fast life for the late night ride.
You spend so much time rehearsing greatness that you never noticed the rehearsal became the entire career. And now you're standing in front of people who can tell the difference between production value and actual value before the conversation even gets started. The way you describe yourself always sounds a lot more expensive than the way your decisions perform, because confidence has been carrying responsibilities that competence never bothered showing up for. And everybody can see it the second the environment becomes competitive. You keep presenting old achievements like they still generate interest, while the rest of the room is trying to figure out whether you've done anything recently besides repeating stories that get less impressive every time they're recycled. I don't even argue anymore, because arguments imply both sides have something equally valuable to contribute. And I've sat through enough conversations to know that isn't always the case, especially when somebody mistakes enthusiasm for expertise and volume for authority.
The funniest part is watching people decorate weakness with complicated language because they think vocabulary can distract from reality. But reality has an incredible habit of surviving translation no matter how many adjectives get involved.
You talk about influence like influence automatically creates importance, when I've watched entire circles full of influential people become completely irrelevant the second the difficult decision required accuracy instead of popularity. Some individuals spend years building a reputation designed to survive applause and then act shocked
when it collapses under examination. Because applause and examination have never been remotely similar experiences. I keep hearing the same promises, wrapped in different packaging, and honestly the packaging is getting more creative than the results, which is impressive in its own way if the objective was marketing rather than performance. The room always changes once specifics arrive, because specifics don't care about image management, and image management has been protecting a lot of fragile egos from direct contact with measurable reality. You keep talking about standards while negotiating with every standard that becomes inconvenient, which explains why the speeches sound ambitious, but the outcomes sound familiar. Everybody loves claiming they're built for pressure, right up until pressure starts asking questions that can't be answered with charisma, confidence, or carefully prepared introductions. The strange thing is that nobody notices how repetitive the performance has become, because repetition sounds like consistency when the audience isn't paying attention. But once attention improves, the difference becomes impossible to ignore. Watch people spend years chasing visibility only to discover visibility attracts scrutiny, and scrutiny starts collecting answers that marketing forgot to prepare for. The gap between perception and reality gets expensive eventually, and the bill always arrives, whether somebody believes in it or not. Which is why I prefer difficult truths over comfortable narratives every single time. By the time you're finished explaining why you deserve the position has usually become more interested in somebody who spent less time explaining and more time becoming qualified.
Confang green with a black outfit. Confang grim with a black outfit. Whole squad move on some ruthless dish. Cold art stare made the whole room stiff like chain gate slams in apocalypse ones. Rust red blow from the hallway lamps. Heavy boot steps made the floorboards crack. Whole crowd tense when the snare drum snap like riot squads in a midnight clash. Tick tick slash when a hi-hat stab. Every bar crack like a body bag smash. Internal rhymes all over like fast like switchblade sparks in a midnight crash. No fake clout, no costume threat. No fake killers for the internet. I came too raw with a storm brain stress. Now the whole damn crowd scream. Splat leather gloves with a frostbite grip. Whole room freeze when the hooks hit thick. Every line sharp like a combat kick. Leave the whole damn stage in a blackout mist. Boom clap stomp when the floor line break. Whole crowd jump when the sound waves quake. Every punchline hit like a ribcage cave. Leave the whole damn room in a panic state. Fast switch, now the tongue goes savage. Every syllable stitched like combat fragments. Pressure too dark for the weak to manage like wars or smoking collapsing palaces. Whole squad deep with a wolf pack glare. Dark grey thick with a battle wear. Everybody locked when the speakers tear like wildfire sparks through electric air. DNA split when the beat line twist. Voice rise sharp on some warlord-ish. Every cadence hit like a hammer fist. No weak links in the structure built. Still too hungry for the calm like fruit. Still feel sparks when the lights burn out. Still move beats when the crowd scream loud. Cause pressure built what I'm on right now. Black ski mask with a confang grin. Whole room freeze when the drums kick in. Every verse built like a guillotine swing. Lead the whole damn scene in a cracked off dream. Tick tick snap when the pattern stacked. Every bar hit like a heart attack. Internal rhymes all over like black like train track sparks in a schoolyard clash. No weak bars, every sentence heavy like iron chains in a black top Chevy. Whole floor bounce when the hooks get deli. Pressure too raw for the fake to catch me. Boom boom stomp, now the walls cave in. Whole crowd jump when the floorboards bend. Every verse built like a loaded spin with enough raw force to erase the scene. Still too wide for the soft life fruit. Still scream loud when the smoke roll out. Still move cold when the crowd bug out. Cause beast more blood never dying now. Fast lane pressure with a burnout smoke. Chrome black wheels where the engines choke. Whole lane move when the shadows close like thunderstorm force about to explode. Tick tick boom, now the snare drum snap. Whole crowd shake when the kick line crack. Every line sharp like a butcher axe. Lead the whole damn room in a black cat trap. Dark red lights in the backstage haze. Whole squad moving a warpath phase. Every breath sharp like a live grenade with enough raw force to collapse the stage. Fast pace, now the flow turns savage. Everybody tense when the lights flash rapid. Every syllable stitched like combat fragments like trigger click sounds from automatic gadgets. No soft talk, no peaceful vibe. Just hard pressure and sharp in mind. Whole room shake when the hooks collide like avalanche force on a mountainside. Boom clap crashing on a roof line split. Whole crowd scream when our drums hit tick. Every verse built with apocalypse grip. Lead the whole damn floor in a blackout mist. Still too hungry for the weak applause. Still too sharp for the fake facade. Still war beast when the pressure cool. Cause rage built every wall like cross. Tick tick slash when a hi-hat stab. Every line crack like a body bag smash. Internal rhymes all over like fast like shattered glass in a midnight crash. Whole squad stomp in the blackout rain. Cold hard stare with the blood red veins. Everybody freeze when the hooks sound strange like wild wolves breaking loose from chains. DNA burst when the switch up lands. Whole room jump when the low toe slam. Every cadence hit like a combat stamp with a whole damn world in a blackout mist. Black flame rise from the furnace pit. Whole squad move on some ruthless ish. Every sentence stitched with apocalypse grip. Lead the whole damn world in a blackout mist.
You keep speaking like the room owes you respect, while the evidence keeps filing complaints behind your back. And honestly, the contradiction is becoming more entertaining than the performance itself, because every introduction sounds monumental and every outcome sounds suspiciously average. The confidence always arrives before the credentials, and somehow you're surprised when reality refuses to validate the marketing campaign, which is strange, because presentation has been carrying responsibilities that capability never volunteered to handle. You spend so much energy protecting the image that the image became more developed than the person standing behind it. And now every conversation feels like watching a spokesperson trying to defend a company that stopped producing anything worth discussing years ago. That explanation sounded impressive until somebody asked a follow-up question, and suddenly the certainty started changing shape, because certainty built on assumptions rarely survives detailed inspection. The entire strategy seems dependent on nobody checking the details, which would be a fantastic plan if details weren't the exact place where the truth usually lives. You keep describing yourself like a headline, while the facts keep behaving like fine print, and the gap between those two things is getting large enough to require its own address. The funniest part is watching somebody mistake attention for leverage, because the tension disappears the moment something more interesting arrives, while leverage keeps working even when nobody feels like clapping. A polished introduction can only travel so far before it runs into reality, and reality is never shown much respect for rehearsed narratives that aren't supported by measurable results. You talk about standards the same way tourists talk about ownership, because visiting something briefly and building something permanently have never been remotely similar experiences. The room gets noticeably quieter whenever specifics arrive, because specifics don't negotiate, and they don't care how expensive the presentation looked before the question started. The reputation survived applause beautifully, but it seems considerably less comfortable around accountability, which probably explains why accountability keeps getting postponed until a more convenient date. The language becomes increasingly complicated whenever the facts become increasingly simple, and that's usually the moment I start paying closer attention, because complexity has a habit of appearing when clarity would be inconvenient. You keep acting like criticism created the weakness when the weakness was already there, and criticism simply turned the lights on, which is an important distinction if accuracy still matters. At some point, the performance stops looking ambitious and starts looking repetitive, because repeating the same promises in higher resolution doesn't actually transform them into achievements. By the time another speech finishes explaining why recognition should arrive, somebody quieter has usually produced another result and moved the conversation forward without needing permission, approval, or an audience.
Okay. Cold rail glow on a midnight floor, rotor hum from an open door. Every step keeps count like before. I don't chase the surge, I record and store. Grid line blink in a stagger beat. I am breath through a hollow street. Every echo returns discreet. I align with the lows beneath my feet. Bootlog in a silent thread. Every flag I raise, every trace I shred. No call on the line, no tag to spread. I reduce the noise to what's left unsaid. Subtone roll through a tempered chest. Every pulse feels firm, every edge compressed. No rush in the root, I manifest. I refine the loop till it passes the test. Backplay map in a layered scheme. Angles solved in a narrower stream. They display what they want to see. I interpret the gaps in the in-between. No glare in the frame, just a dim lit guide. Every vector clean with the axis slide. I don't need a crowd to be verified. I get line with the base where the lows reside. Breath can fog on a coated glass. Each exhale, that's a fragment pass. No ties I keep from a former class. I trim off excess till the core is vast. Rain takes time on a plated show. Like a clock I can read and calibrate well. Every drop breaks loops I used to drone. Now the cycle runs clean and acquire the cell. Tunnel ships in a measure row. Pulse sync tight with the undertow. Hidden light is revealed in the flicker glow. I step in face with a steadier flow. I recall when the channel was overrun. Threads collide and the signal undone. Now the bandwidth clears to a single one, where the signal stands out and the noise is none. No badge to wear, no rank to claim. Every line I write strips off the frame. They perform for a distant aim. I construct in the dark with a code of flame. Apex turn with a balance, low risk minimized in the chosen mode. I don't force a win on a given code. I maintain a line to the rusty code. City face to a distant blur. Echoes drop to a softer stir. Just a road and a tone I can now infer. And a quieter self I begin to prefer. In a horizon hum with a muted light. Even faint can guide it right. I don't need a surge to claim the night. I grow in a slow with the calm sits tight. I recall high speed as a masking layer. Stack too high like a faulty player. Now I shed the load, let the system repair. What remains is a core that is clean and fair. No pressure stored in the chest I keep. No loops that fracture and needed sleep. Just the baseline steady and deep. And a promising core that I choose to keep. Rear view dims to a softer trace. Not a rich, just a refined space. Every mob withdraws the face of a mind that can hold its pace. Audio drops to a constant tone, like the quiet I've come to own. I don't stand here overthrown, I stand in the field that I fully know. Light breaks thin at the edge of sight. State transitions occur without fight. I don't run to the end of night, I let dark in the calm unite. Every mile steps a segment free, a light, a layer of memory. Not a loss, just a clarity and a structure that lets me see. No finish flag, no terminal gate, just a route I calibrate. Every second I generate shapes the calm I cultivate. Sunlight lifts with a gradual rise, soft reveal, no loud surprise. Every shift I recognize, open space for a truer size. Engine tone in a lower band, at the piece I can now command. I don't need to explain, no brand without holding a steady hand. Road extends and I stay intact, not defined by a missing fact. Every move is a measured act in a world where I choose not to react. No burden left in the way I breathe, no knots that I can't unweave. Just a pattern I can achieve in a system I choose to believe. Off-grid drift with a subtle swing, human feeling a rigid thing. Every delay a quieter ring, where control and release both cling. I don't peek for the sake of show, I don't follow where crowds will go. I build from my base below, to the structure is all I know. Find a stretch with a tempered tone, no banner raised, no throne. Just the path that has slowly grown into something I fully own. Checks I'm sealed on the path I made, no excess stored, no debt unpaid. Every step in a cooler shade, if the system stable, unafraid. Close loopholes with a cleaner run, no straight thread left undone. When the cycle meets the sun, that persists is the sum I've become.
Yeah. You keep speaking like the room owes you respect, while the evidence keeps filing complaints behind your back. And honestly, the contradiction is becoming more entertaining than the performance itself. Because every introduction sounds monumental, and every outcome sounds suspiciously average. The confidence always arrives before the credentials. And somehow you're surprised when reality refuses to validate the marketing campaign. Which is strange, because presentation has been carrying responsibilities that capability never volunteered to handle. You spend so much energy protecting the image that the image became more developed than the person standing behind it. And now every conversation feels like watching a spokesperson trying to defend a company that stopped producing anything worth discussing years ago. That explanation sounded impressive, until somebody asked a follow-up question, and suddenly the certainty started changing shape. Because certainty built on assumptions rarely survives detailed inspection. The entire strategy seems dependent on nobody checking the details, which would be a fantastic plan if details weren't the exact place where the truth usually lives. You keep describing yourself like a headline, while the facts keep behaving like fine print. And the gap between those two things is getting large enough to require its own address. The funniest part is watching somebody mistake attention for leverage. Because attention disappears the moment something more interesting arrives, while leverage keeps working even when nobody feels like clapping. A polished introduction can only travel so far before it runs into reality. And reality has never shown much respect for rehearsed narratives that aren't supported by measurable results. You talk about standards the same way tourists talk about ownership, because visiting something briefly and building something permanently have never been remotely similar experiences. The room gets noticeably quieter whenever specifics arrive, because specifics don't negotiate, and they don't care how expensive the presentation looked before the question started. That reputation survived applause beautifully, but it seems considerably less comfortable around accountability, which probably explains why accountability keeps getting postponed until a more convenient date. The language becomes increasingly complicated whenever the facts become increasingly simple. And that's usually the moment I start paying closer attention, because complexity has a habit of appearing when clarity would be inconvenient. You keep acting like criticism created the weakness when the weakness was already there, and criticism simply turned the lights on, which is an important distinction if accuracy still matters. At some point, the performance stops looking ambitious and starts looking repetitive because repeating the same promises in higher resolution doesn't actually transform them into achievements. By the time another speech finishes explaining why recognition should arrive, somebody quieter has usually produced another result and moved the conversation forward without needing permission, approval, or an audience.
Yeah. I came through without a warning, every movement calculated, every sentence carrying weight, like the flow couldn't tolerate it. You celebrated tension, I accumulated leverage. That's the difference between making noise and becoming the pressure. Everybody remembers you spent too much time trying to look dangerous. I spent too much time becoming dangerous. Now the gap between us feels embarrassing. Every comparison ends before it starts. Every challenge dies inside its own arrogance. I don't chase moments, I create momentum. I don't chase reactions, I create conditions. I don't chase positions, I take position. Pressure don't scare me, pressure reveal me. Pressure don't change me, pressure complete me. You hear aggression in the cadence, I hear discipline under acceleration. Every breath controlled, every transition intentional. Every internal connection strengthening the foundation. Most people panic when the pace increases, I become more accurate. Most people get louder, I get sharper. Most people get emotional, I get effective. Pressure don't scare me, pressure reveal me. Pressure don't change me, pressure complete me. I watch confidence disappear, the second resistance appeared. That's why I never trusted confidence, I trusted repetition. Because repetition survives situations that confidence can't understand. You built identity from compliments, I built identity from correction. You built comfort, I built capacity. You built image, I built capability. Different ingredients, different results. The rhythm getting tighter now. Syllables connecting inside syllables. Patterns hiding inside patterns. No wasted motion, no decorative filler. Just compression stacked on compression until the structure starts feeling impossible to move. Everything heavy, everything focused. Everything precise, everything forward. When the weight increase, I increase with it. When the stakes increase, I increase with it. When the tension increase, I increase with it. When the risk increase, I increase with it. That's the difference. You adapt to comfort, I adapt to resistance. You perform when conditions are good, I perform when conditions get worse. You need momentum, I generate momentum. Everything focused, everything precise, everything forward, everything earned. I don't need rage to be dangerous, I don't need volume to dominate. I don't need approval to continue, I don't need permission to advance. Execution became instinct, discipline became identity. Pressure became familiar, progress became unavoidable. Now the cadence start folding over itself, internal rhythm colliding with internal rhythm. Every line arriving before the last one fully leaves, creating that feeling that something is constantly advancing, constantly applying force, constantly removing space. You keep looking for weakness, isn't one available. You keep looking for hesitation, it expired. You keep looking for doubt, it got replaced. Pressure don't scare me, pressure reveal me. Pressure don't change me, pressure complete me. Every lesson became ammunition, every failure became instruction. Every setback became meditation, every obstacle became construction. Nothing wasted, nothing random, nothing accidental. Everything intentional, everything measured, everything sharpened, everything applied. When the room gets smaller, I get stronger. When the expectations rise, I rise further. When the pressure build, I build faster. When the challenge appear, I appear larger. Everything focused, everything precise, everything forward, everything earned. No dramatic ending, no emotional closure, no celebration speech, no final warning. Just another level of pressure, just another increase in pace. Just another reminder that some people break under resistance and some people become it.
You disappeared so completely that even the memory started adjusting to your absence. And now you're standing here speaking about loyalty like the word didn't spend years. Searching for a place to live while you were nowhere to be found. The timing of your return deserves an award, because you managed to stay invisible through every setback, every delay, every doubt, and every difficult conversation. Then suddenly reappeared the exact week everything started looking valuable.
You keep talking like distance happened naturally when the distance was carefully maintained every time support became inconvenient. Which is interesting because convenience always seems to arrive disguised as coincidence whenever success enters the picture. Back then, every message felt optional, every invitation felt unnecessary, and every conversation felt postponed. But now somehow urgency has entered the relationship and enthusiasm has become a permanent resident. The funniest part is watching somebody rewrite history in real time, because the version we're describing sounds significantly more loyal than the version everybody actually met. You speak about friendship the way investors speak about opportunities, because every sentence sounds less emotional than strategic, and every compliment arrives carrying calculations hidden behind the packaging. The energy changed so dramatically that if circumstances were a person, they'd probably feel personally responsible for the transformation. I watched you ignore progress when it looked uncertain and celebrate progress when it became undeniable, which means you never actually believed in the journey. You simply developed an interest in the destination. Every story now begins with how close we were, and somehow skips the chapter where you vanished whenever consistency required effort, which is a fascinating editing choice, considering that's where most of the important details lie. The strange thing is, I don't even feel betrayed anymore, because betrayal requires expectation, and expectations quietly packed the bags years ago. You keep acting surprised that trust didn't survive abandonment, even though abandonment has never been famous for strengthening relationships. The conversations sound polished, the explanations sound rehearsed, and the intentions sound profitable, which creates a combination that would be convincing if memory wasn't still available for consultation. Back when the room looked empty, you treated absence like a hobby. Now that the room looks crowded, you've developed a sudden passion for connection. Every compliment arrives slightly too late, every apology arrives slightly too polished, and every explanation arrives carrying the scent of convenience. By the time you finish explaining why you were always around, I'll probably still be remembering how quickly the silence answered that question long before you tried to.